Okay, hello, round two. Okay, we'll try this again. This is Eva, and I'm coming to you live on Facebook from the Pleasure Tour. And I'm now on like day 3, and I have landed in the Bay Area, which is one of my favorite places in the world. So last time we had some issues with sound. Zoe, can you tell me if you can hear now? All right, so moving on. How am I feeling with my heartbreak? This is a journey to chronicle healing from a broken heart. And what I've decided to do on the Pleasure Tour is to kick off the tour with visiting powerful women who I say are on the pleasure path. And if you know me, you know that I'm like a total neuroscientist geek. And so I love studying what happens in the brain when we have a shift in our relationship status. And one of the things that happens on a deep existential level is that we begin to question our lovability. We begin to question our worth. We often begin to question our belonging, like where do we fit in? And who are we anymore anyway? And especially for women, this can really shake our core. So if you're going through any kind of transition in your relationship status, I say the first thing to do is surround yourself with people that inspire you and people that you respect. They remind you of who you are. They remind you of why you're so fucking fabulous and lovable. And they remind you that you're never alone. Like we are always, always in tribe together. So I have landed at a girlfriend's house here in the Bay Area, in San Francisco Bay Area, someone that I love very, very much. And I'm so happy to be in her beautiful home. And she has so much wisdom and grace to offer everybody. So I'm going to bring her on. And in fact, throughout the whole tour, I'm going to keep introducing you to these amazing, powerful women because I think that they have valuable things to share with everybody. One thing I did notice on the way up, driving up here, is about pleasure and how pleasure actually helps us filter in the positive. So if we just begin to point our attention on pleasurable sensations, pleasurable thoughts, pleasurable states of being, we actually notice it more and we actually experience it more. That's the deal. That's the trick. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my girlfriend Susan on. We're having a picnic in her backyard. Oh, wait, where's my wine?
Hi, everyone.
So Susan Lee is an amazing powerhouse woman. I've already said that like 10 times. We've known each other for a really long time. We figured out it was like
1997.
We met in 1997, which was like 20 years ago.
Oh
and we met actually swing dancing.
Yes.
I had like a little phase of, not a little, a long phase of swing dancing. And we started a witches' coven together. So at the time, I was really deep into practicing Wicca. And Susan and I did a lot of deep practice, prayer practice together. And we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
Susan is the art director for Mama Gina. So if you know who Mama Gina is, then you know that she's definitely on the pleasure path and on the wavelength. So the thing that I'm asking everybody, and I'm going to start by asking Susan, is what is your pleasure practice?
So for me, just so that everybody knows, there was a huge shift around 40, 41. I'm 45 now, where I really started to own what lit me up, what turned me on. And recently, I just started to fully own that I love kink. And I like younger men. And
can you define for some people what kink is?
So for me, things like bondage
is a sexual, kink is a sexual thing.
Yes, it's a sexual way of playing. And things like bondage, or what they call impact play, so being spanked. And people who know me really well already know this about me, and they're not surprised, but it's something that I haven't actually said out in public to everyone. And
get it out, girl.
To really say that I like it, I enjoy it, it turns me on, and I'm looking for a dom who really meets me there.
You might get some offers after this. It's like,
So
PSA.
yeah, that and younger men. I love their enthusiasm and their exuberance, and they're just fun, and I'm just having a lot of fun with that. And not to say that I don't like men my own age, just so happens to be that I am saying younger men are amazing to me right now. I love you guys.
Wait, where's your glass? Here. Wait. Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. So then you're saying that what empowers you is owning what turns you on.
Owning it, really just being able to say it loud and proud, as they say, and not shy away from it, and to go after it. You know, there are apps for everything, and if you're looking for something, look for an app. It probably exists. That's how I found out.
Susan and I just had lunch, and she was telling me, can I say this?
Yeah.
She was telling me that she's on both FetLife and
Cougar Life.
Cougar Life.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome. I think it's just like a great way to own what turns you on. So I want to ask you, how do you feel right now having just outed yourself to potentially billions of watchers?
I love it.
How do you feel in your body right now?
I'm excited. I feel tingly. I want to go dance for joy. I'm serious. Want to go flirt?
You should do that. Let's dance for joy.
Yes.
Here's to owning what turns you on, motherfuckers. So I want to know what turns you on. What are you ready to own? And look, it doesn't have to be sexual. Not at all. But things that light you up, that make you feel more alive, that bring you home to yourself. Mm-hmm. What is it? What are you ready to tell the world? And enter it in the comments. Yes. Cheers again.
Cheers.
I feel so empowered right now. I feel so excited. I'm wondering for myself, like, oh my God, what am I going to be owning over this pleasure tour? I don't even know. Mm-hmm. I don't even know yet.
It'll be exciting. We'll be watching, Eva.
Oh my God. I'm owning this. I'm owning being live on Facebook, which is really scary, by the way. My heart is pounding. I had to do like a nervous dance a minute ago. But that's not all I have to say. Okay. Susan, anything else you want to share with our audience before we go? What words of wisdom do you have to offer people about pleasure, sexuality, and empowerment?
That when you do finally give yourself permission to own it, if somebody doesn't celebrate you in owning it, then you might want to reconsider who they are as friends.
What is the David Whyte quote? Help me out if you're watching live. Do not belong to anyone or anything that makes you smaller. I'm completely butchering that line. What is it? I'm sure somebody will know what it is. You do not belong to any world that makes you smaller than you are. That's essentially the message. And if somebody does not celebrate your kink, your kinkiness, your crazy, wild anything, then you can't be free. We have to be free to be who we are. And that's one thing I'm super tapping into right now, is like, now I'm single and I'm actually free, and not just free sexually, but I've been liberated in my heart, in my spirit, and like, I get to do whatever the fuck I want.
That's right.
Yeah!
And not give two fucks.
Wait, what did you say earlier about being 40?
After I turned 40, 41, I just cared. I cared less about.
Wait. After 40, you stopped giving fucks.
Oh, after 40, I stopped giving
fucks.
Oh my God. Here's to being 40s.
Yeah, and giving less fucks. It's true. It happens. Not that I know that. Just kidding. Alrighty, my love. Thank you. We'll dance later. Okay. So, the last thing I want to share is, if you are genuinely, I'm going to set this down. if you are genuinely going through a breakup or a transition in your life, I want to offer you this really amazing tool. So look, when you're working someplace like employed, like you have a job, what normally happens is every so often, like at your 30-day mark, at your 60-day mark, at your annual mark, you get a review. And they review your job performance, right? And if you're doing well, you get a raise. If you're not, you don't. If you do something and you fuck up at work, like you're late or whatever, you get put on a correction plan. And you get a chance to fix it, hopefully. So what I like to do, and what I've been doing in my breakup, is borrow an idea from the 12 steppers. And I do a 4th step, which is a fearless and searching moral inventory. So instead of being all guilt-ridden or being questioning or regretful or angry and being kind of lost in the sea of all these emotions, I just make a list. I do an inventory of how I did in the relationship, how I see myself in the relationship, and where was I out of integrity with myself and with my partner? Where was I dishonest, or where was I not authentic? Where was I not owning the truth of something? You name it. Where were my shortcomings? And I find that when you just make a list of them and get them out onto paper and you own them, it takes some of the sting away. So step 1, I invite you to, even if you're still in relationship, oh my God, especially if you're still in relationship, do it together. This is an amazing practice. Make a moral inventory. Write yourself a review. How do you feel you're showing up to the relationship? Step 2, put yourself on a correction plan. If you're out of integrity somewhere, fix it. It's as simple as that. If you're controlling, demanding, passive-aggressive, dishonest, like whatever the fuck it is you're doing, you always have the opportunity to correct your behavior, make a sincere amends, and fix it moving forward. So, with that empowering tip, I'm going to take any questions. Actually, I'm going to see if I can actually see any of your questions. I'm not sure that I can. But if you're tuning in and you're not on Facebook, you can follow the Pleasure Tour by going to facebook.com/Eva Clay. And I'm going to be coming to you from the road almost every day. I'm going to give myself a few days off, but almost every day with a special guest and a special inspiration, and just let you know, like, what I'm doing, honestly. So, let's make a new world together. That's really all I want to keep saying. Let's love better. And I love you very much. I'll talk to you soon.